Okay, time to call the meeting of the Board of Mayor and Selectmen for August the 14th, 2018. At this time, we're going to have prayer by Selectman Michael Cameron.
Let us pray. Lord, thank you for this day that you have given us. Lord, thank you for the opportunity that you give us every day to meet like we do, govern ourselves, and take care of the business of the city. Lord, thank you for the service members that are scattered all over the world that give us this opportunity. Watch over and protect them. We have local members that are deployed right now. Lord, watch over and protect them and bring them home safely. Give us the wisdom to do the city's business in a correct and in a right way.
Yes, Lord.
In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. We have the consent docket. I hope everyone's had an opportunity to review the accounts payable, the manual checks, as well as the AP docket. Anything that we need to take off of that? Any questions? What can I hear about this consent docket, Dan?
Second.
It was motioned by Selectman Johnson, second by Selectman Brock. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Ask that we would skip number 3 because Mr. Doug Forbes is not here. At this time, we move to number 4, and I'm going to ask Chief Gary McKenzie if he would come forward, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to ask Fire Investigator Damon Green, Mr. Jude McComb, and Mr. Brandon Riggs to join me if they would, please. As you know, Board, July 25th, McComb Fire Department responded to the Parkland Apartments, where we had a very well-established fire. And as a result, prior to our arrival, there were 2 individuals trapped on the second floor in their apartment. So the situation was very critical. There were flaming debris was falling off of the edge of the building. These people had no escape, and Investigator Green arrived, and Mr. Victorian and Mr. Riggs immediately, with no hesitation, no thought to their own personal safety, joined together to help get these people out of that window. And they saved 2 lives, or at the very least prevented very serious injury. And in this day and age, when all over the world there are so many examples of people, being mean to one another, mistreating one another, for our citizens here in McComb to come together and to do this, I felt was worthy of honor. And we got some certificates, and I wanted to present to them. It says, in appreciation, this certificate is presented to Brandon Riggs in recognition and appreciation of loyal and valuable service to the city of McComb, Mississippi. Our best wishes and heartfelt thanks accompany this expression of gratitude for assisting with the rescue of a fellow citizen in mortal peril without hesitation or regard to personal safety. I thank you, and the city thanks you.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. We'll put you out. Come on around on the side.
Y'all can come forward. The seal is always going to be in color. Come forward. Alright. We're going to do this on 3. 1, 2, and 3.
And if I can add to what Chief said when he came to me, I did not hesitate. I said, yes, we need to do this. So understand, we appreciate the Board of Mayor and Selectmen, appreciate everything you all did.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, number 5, consider adopting a resolution appointing Anthony Anglin, police officer in the Police Division of the Department of Public Safety, in a probationary status effective August the 17th, 2018. Second by Williams. Motion by Johnson, second by Williams. Selectmen. Or was it Hill? It was Hill? Okay, my mistake. Just help me out. Selectman Hill, second by Selectman Hill. Any discussion? Chief,
Yes, sir.
would you introduce him to us, please?
Absolutely. Mr. Anthony, Daniel Anglin, comes to us with your approval tonight as a non-certified law enforcement officer. Put him to work on Friday. We can start equipping him and have him prepared to go to the academy for September the 10th. We've got 2 slots reserved with our names on it pending tonight's vote. He has passed all the requirements set forth by the City and Civil Service Commission, and we look forward to putting him to work quickly.
Okay, Mr. Anglin, you ready to go to work for us as a police officer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your family from here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I remember an Anglin family here in McComb. Board members?
I understand he served in the National Guard.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Well, good service. Well, are we ready to vote?
Ready.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I have it. Opposers nay? None.
Thank you all.
Motion carried.
Congratulations.
And please, if I do not pronounce this name correctly, bear with me. Consider adopting a resolution appointing Tyrekus Leggett, police officer in the Police Division of Department of Public Safety, in a probationary status effective August 17, 2018. Did I mess your name up?
No, sir, you spelled it correct.
Oh! How about that? How about that? What can I hear from Johnson, Selectman Johnson? Second by Selectman Williams. Okay. Chief, what you can tell us about this young man?
Very similar. Mr. Leggett has been very diligent in his attempts to come to work for the City of McComb, and he has passed everything necessary and required by the city. Again, he will be a non-certified law enforcement officer scheduled to go on September the 10th with your approval tonight. So we look forward to having him on board and seeing him in a uniform and put to work very quickly.
Mr. Leggett, you from that big Leggett family here in McComb?
No, sir, I'm from Quinlan, Mississippi, but I recently moved to Macomb back in 2016.
Okay, well that's all right. You know, a transplant, we'll take it. What can I hear? Are we ready to vote?
Yes.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers nay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Okay. Number 7, consider approving advertising the public hearing on budget discussion to be held August the 28th, 2018 at 5 p.m. Can I get a motion?
Move.
Selectman Hill, Selectman Williams. Any discussion?
When will the budget be presented to the board?
That's a good question. Ms. Janice, can I call on you to answer that?
Yes, I plan to, present it to the board, at work session next week. Okay?
Okay. Any other questions? Mr. Brown?
Just curious, Ms. Dillon, in the past, haven't we had I guess, pre-look at the budget, 2 or 3?
You will,
Looks at-
we're not gonna, this is not publishing the budget in there, this is just for the hearing, so we have to put it like, we have to run it 2 weeks, in the paper, and so I'm just doing it now, just so that we can get the publication in there, that we're gonna have a budget hearing, but I will discuss this with the board before it's put in the paper. Yes, sir.
Before the hearing?
I plan to present it to the board next week at work session.
Okay.
We're not gonna have we want to have the hearing on the 28th.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Ready to vote?
Ready.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay? Any nay? None? Motion carries. Consider adopting a resolution supporting the internet sale taxes in conjunction with MML. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that was Selectman Toller and Selectman Cameron. Any questions? No questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Hearing none, motion carried. Consider receiving a check in the amount of $1,925 from St. Hubert's Animal Welfare Center as part of the relocation efforts with the latest Wings of Rescue Animal Transport. These funds are to be deposited into Fund 001000346, and an increase in the line item 001105690, and further authorize a budget amendment for said amount. These funds must be used for the animal intake vaccination and spade and neuter surgery only. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Selectman Toller,
Second.
Selectman Cameron. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Motion carried. Number 10, consider receiving a check in an amount of $100 from Gina T. Falita and another check in an amount of $100 from La Mariposa Mercedes Cafe for a total of $200 to be deposited in Fund 001000346, an increased line item in 001105770, and further authorize a budget amendment for said amount. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Selectman Toller,
Second.
Selectman Brown. Any discussion? No discussion? No discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Hearing none, motion carried. Number 11, consider receiving a check in an amount of $25 from K.C. Avery Jr. and Carolyn G. Avery in the memory of their friend Priscilla Bird, and a $7 check donation from the Dogs Day a summer event to be deposited into Fund 001000346, and an increased line item 0011057, and further authorizing a budget amendment for said amount. Can I get a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
Selectman Toller, Selectman Brock. Did I get that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Number 12, consider approving payment for website hosting with Revised LLC in the amount of $2,580. This payment is for August the 1st, 2017 to July 31st, 2018. Can I get a motion and a second? Selectman Johnson,
Second.
Selectman Brown. Any questions? Go ahead.
This is for the previous year, this is not for the next year?
Yeah, for the previous year.
It's for the previous
It'll be
year.
paid afterwards.
No, that's a typo,
That is correct.
administrative error.
Yes, yes, they sent us the wrong date on the invoice. We are in the process of getting a corrected invoice with the right date on it, but it is for August 1st, 2018 to July 31st, 2019.
Did we decide, I thought we talked about in the work session that we were gonna explore some other options, and we were gonna talk about it at the next work session.
Well, we are, but we still have to pay.
Huh?
Yeah, we still have
Are
to
we,
pay.
is this a bill we're paying, or is we're opting into another contract, Ms. Dillon?
This is the invoice that they have for the yearly hosting of our website. So right now, we still have the website up and going, so we're gonna continue with that until the board decides they wanna do something differently. But right now, this is the invoice that is presented to us, and it is due at this time.
So if we pay this, are we opting to continue with service with them until next year?
Yes, yes. But they by far, I think the next one was like 16,000, and the next one was, it's about 7,000.
I was just under the impression we were gonna
Well, I was more.
talk about it at the next work session, because I haven't even been able to look at the other packages that we were presenting.
Okay, well, that's why we was talking about that, and we was more so looking at, redesign. That's what I was more so talking about, redesign, not so much as the service.
So that they'll read it, we're gonna go with this company to
But
read
we're not y'all told me to hold up on redesign.
Right.
This is just regular.
But if we decide to redesign our website, would this,
Yes, sir.
but what if we didn't wanna go with this company to redesign the website?
Well, of course, we can go with any company we like.
Will this payment be, will we be wasting our money here? if we
Well,
decide-
the site we've had all the time, so it's not like we're wasting money. No.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm just saying, if we don't pay this invoice, they will take the website that we have currently up right now, it will be taken down because we're past the time for that. So it started August 1, so if we don't pay it, they'll take the website down.
Let them carry.
I'm still on the line with, Selectman Johnson here. Do they do just hosting, or do they do design?
Both.
Because there are some changes I would like to see on our website.
And they can do it. And they're a lot cheaper than the other, posted within your work sessions packet.
Yeah, I just haven't had a chance.
Just look at it.
Selectman Thomas.
Mr. Butler, you said that the other quotes were way higher.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Got it. Take this back.
Any other questions? Ready to vote? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Aye have it. Consider ratifying the mayor's signature for the Board of Mayor and Selectmen Cellular Service for July the 1st, 2018 through June the 30th, 2022. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
Selectman Hill,
Sir.
Selectman Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Hearing none, we continue. Consider authorizing payment for housing of prisoners during the month of May 2018 for the City of McComb Department of Public Safety, Police Division to the Pike County Sheriff's Department, 2109 Jess Hall Industrial Park Road, Magnolia, Mississippi, 39652, in the amount of $18,691.50. Can I get a motion and a second? Okay, we got two people, so.
Second.
Johnson.
Selectman Johnson and Selectman Tully. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Let's keep moving. Consider approving the final payment for work on the park.
Yes, agreed.
Refused. Consider approving the final payment for work on parking garage to Pavecon Ltd. Company, Post Office Box 535457, Grand Prairie, Texas 75053, in the amount of $10,145.56. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Selectman Cameron and Selectman Brown. Any discussion?
Just come out, general fund.
Yes. Selectman.
Is this the status of this final payment that
They finished all the work, you know, you got the upper level stabilized, and then completed that process, yes, sir.
So the upper level can be used at this time?
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay.
did they give us any kind of certification?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, we do have that over. They did give us some kind of certification on that.
They gave certification, but if you remember the report they sent us, said there were some limits as to what the top floor could be used for. It can be used for anything static, but anything moving, like we could park cars up there, but you couldn't let people congregate or have a function up there because the shifting weight is what affects it. We could use it to park cars, but we couldn't let, you know, like we have things downtown at the pavilion and that kind of stuff. We don't need to let crowds gather on top of the parking garage. Because the shifting weight would affect it, and I think we got that in Mr. Laird sent that. I think I sent that to you, didn't I, Mr. Butler?
Yes, sir.
Can you define shifting weight?
Basically, what you need is somebody parking the car's gonna go up there and park and stay still, okay? If you've got a group of people up there that's moving from one location to another constantly, that's what they consider shifting. It can be used for parking only, is what I understood the report from Mr. Laird said.
I mean, because a person compared, let's say 100 people compared to one car, or 100 people compared to how many the holes up there, and the car movement is shifting weight as well.
I understand, but the car's only gonna shift weight when it's moving out and moving in, okay?
Let's say 10 cars are moving at the same time. Is that considered? I mean,
I understand.
So how safe is it?
As far as parking, from what Mr. Laird said, from what I understood and based on the report that he issued, driving up there and parking is fine. But I think what he's worried about is if you let 200 people congregate up there and they're there for 6 or 8 hours and that weight's constantly shifting and moving, I think that's what he's talking about, is the way I understood, the way I read his letter.
So in between 8 to 5 business hours of shifting weight, it seems like it's just the same thing.
I understand, and I had those same questions, and I talked to Mr. Laird about that, and his explanation to me is what I'm giving to you. And what I understand as an engineer, it has to do more, a car, true enough, when a car drives up and it leaves, that weight's shifting. But if you've got 100 or 200 people up there and they're constantly moving, okay, that's shifting a whole lot more in a minute, and a whole lot in more places than if you just pull a car up there and park it and leave.
I mean, if you take a visual of it, yes, it sounds like it's a lot of weight movement, but take one person on the average maybe 200 pounds compared to a car that's 30 tons.
I understand exactly what you're saying, Selectman Hill.
I still don't think personally that it's safe. If you're going to talk about shifting weight, let me ask you this: did he talk about anything else to improve the safety of the structure?
No, sir. Not in the report he gave to me. And Mr. Butler's got a copy of it. I can get a copy of the report and distribute it to the selectmen if that's what y'all want me to do.
Please.
Okay, I'll get a copy and get it to you.
We'll ask some of those questions, to try to make sure we understand that.
Before we let anybody park in there, right? Okay.
Okay. Did we get a vote on that? Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Hearing none, we move to the next one. Consider approving Cable One to provide provide televised board meeting service to the city of McComb at no cost to the city effective August the 28th, 2018. Playback will be the following Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We'll move.
Second.
Selectman Johnson, Selectman Hill, any discussion? And we will be working on getting it live, but right now, it's gonna be a delayed process, okay? Just in case some people are concerned, wanna know that, we will be working on getting it live. Number 17, considering adopting, we didn't vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. Hearing none, move to number 17. Consider adopting the amendments to the digital sign ordinance allowing 400 square feet digital signs along the interstate in any C2 or CPL zone along Interstate 55. The maximum area allowed will be 400 square feet and the maximum height will be 40 feet. Can I get a motion and a second?
Second.
Motion by Selectman Brock, second by Selectman Wiggins. Any discussion? Selectman Campbell.
I would like to see us start and work on a 55 corridor ordinance kind of standalone. That is a different animal out there, than down Delaware, out 98, Presley, Delaware, and I would like to see us, as digital is new, times are changing, so digital is new. I would just like to see us work on a 55 corridor kind of standalone ordinance as opposed to everything else, because it's different than everything else, and I think it needs to be separated.
Okay.
We can get our zoning inspection or whatever, just start looking at that and start working on that. We've got one of the largest sign companies in the state right here in McComb that I'm sure could give us advice and could give us other sign ordinances, and we could look up and down interstate too. But I just think that's a whole nother ballgame.
Okay. Take that into consideration. As we look at this ordinance, let's say this ordinance, are we, any more questions on,
I'm good with making this change tonight, but I would like to start
we're gonna,
doing it, and this would be moved into another.
right. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
You mean maybe a work session? Start talking about it.
Sure. Or just get our zoning inspection to start working on one and bring it to us.
And we can do that. Okay. Any other questions? None? What? Selectman Hill?
Was this the only change?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Any other questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposers, nay. So moved. Consider adopting a per diem policy for the city of Macomb not requiring receipts on travel reimbursement. Can I get a motion and second?
So moved.
Second.
Selectman Cameron, Selectman Johnson. Any discussion?
Yeah, no, we got better say in it. I'm sorry.
Selectman Tully.
I've traveled 5 states for 26 years, but receipts were required. You've got to have receipts.
Okay, Selectman Johnson.
And let me make sure I be clear on this, Mr. Enterprise Journal. I've called the state auditor's office today myself and spoke with Mr. Mark Johnson. I've also called the county and spoke with Ms. Sherry and also Ms. can't think of her name. And every other municipality that I've reached out to or government body, they allow this. I think it would be a great thing, and it's something that our employees actually requested.
When we do bring back our receipts, are we allowed to purchase alcoholic beverages with the per diem?
No, sir.
How would that be monitored?
If receipts are not required, then that's left up to you how you spend that. But if receipts are required, then when the ladies go through and they see alcohol beverages, they would delete that off, that we cannot take, public funds and purchase alcohol beverages.
Correct. That's why, I mean, if we're not allowed to do that, is that policy or is that state law?
That's state.
All right, so, if we do, I'm not against it, but if we do it, how do we monitor that?
It's not monitored, that's why you go without receipts. You like the camera?
That has been monitored for the last 8 years. I mean, most of the time your receipts has alcohol.
I'm saying, but, I get that, but if we pass this ordinance, I mean, if we adopt this, then how would it be monitored? If I gave you $41 for your day?
It can't be monitored.
Right.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I'm not sure how we're gonna pass this ordinance when it says this, per Mark Johnson, it says this cannot be voted on. Unused funds must be returned according to section 25(3)-41, section 5, which reads, in the discretion of the administrative head of the county or municipal department, board or commission involved, for the purpose of paying necessary expenses incurred during the travel. Upon return from the travel, the officer or employee shall provide receipts of transportation, lodging, meals, fees, and any other expenses incurred during the travel. Any portion of the fund advanced, which is not expended during the travel, shall be returned by the officer or employee. I'm not sure how we're even considering this to be a vote.
Mr. Cameron, that's for an advancement.
Section 25(3)41.
We're not asking to do an advancement here.
According to Mr. Mark Johnson, if the employee is requesting reimbursement for meals after travel is completed, it is up to the Board of Mayor and Selectmen to decide if receipts are required.
Okay, I thought
And
we
we
were
have
asking for upfront.
No.
I thought that's what we were, per diem. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, we're going to tell the taxpayers that we have total disregard for their money. That we're gonna get them to give us money and we're not responsible enough to hold on to a receipt for 3 days. That's what we're telling the taxpayers. Okay.
The auditor says that we can do it, and other cities and counties
Okay.
are doing it.
Again, I don't care what other people are doing. I really don't. I'm gonna be held accountable.
I'm just saying, state auditor's office has already said it's permissible.
Okay.
You know, and that's the accounting that we have to adhere to. So if they say it's legal, and this board decides to do it, we're within the right to do it. If they had not said that we couldn't do it, we all would have to produce receipts.
Okay, so how is that not gonna have a 1099 attached to it at the end of the year how is that not income? When you don't provide a receipt, so I could take the $41 and not spend it, how is that not income?
It's reimbursement.
Reimbursement for what? You have to spend it to get reimbursed.
Again, I hear what you're saying, but the auditor's office says it's permissible. Accountability is important. Don't get me wrong. I've always, every job that I've had, that I had to ask for reimbursement, I was required to produce receipts. But here again, the law is saying that we can do this.
We can.
We can.
Mhm.
And we can simply means the majority of the board can.
We shouldn't, but we can.
Yes. Yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to table it until we get some, come back with a clear mind about exactly what's going on.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion on the table to table this. It was motion by Selectman Hill, second by Selectman Cameron, that we table this. Any discussion?
What exactly do you want to clear my on?
I mean, 'cause if I vote tonight, I'm voting no, and I would like to dig more into it. I mean, 'cause at the end of the day, Selectman Johnson, I'm a steward of, supposed to be a good steward of taxpayer money. And with the crisis that we're in right now with our budget, allowing us to go on conferences and bring receipts, no receipts back at all, let's say I didn't eat it all, but I'm gonna get money from our general fund without showing any receipts. And one of my constituents questioned me about it. I'm gonna look crazy. Rather I do right, not by it. So it's about don't do right by it, I'm definitely gonna do crazy.
Any other discussion on it? All in favor of tabling this matter? Say aye. Opposed?
Nay.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4 in favor of table, and that is Selectman Hill, Selectman Tullis, Selectman Cameron, and Selectman Williams. 2 opposed, Selectman Brock and Selectman Johnson. So tabled. Let's continue. Number 19, consider approving the city attorney to seek termination of the MLK lease agreement between the city of McComb and the McComb School District. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Selectman Cameron,
Second.
Selectman Brock. Any discussion? I would like for,
Mayor?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, thank you. Before the school system went into this building, it wasn't being used. It wasn't being done. Since they've been there, they keep it clean, there's activity, there's something going on. I heard at the inauguration, Cedric Ellis say, this is a momentous occasion. We have a Democratic mayor, a Democratic majority. And now you're going to throw him under the bus here in the school system? I don't get that.
Selectman Cameron, sure hand. Selectman,
Let's have their hands up first. It's really mind-boggling to me that we're going to seek to terminate a lease with our school system, and the administrator and the person over the building has not been contacted. That's mind-boggling. That we're going to seek to terminate a lease with one of our, well, I mean, that's not even just one of our customers or associates. This is our school system. And we don't have the decency, the administrator reads it in the paper. That's an awful way to do business, in my opinion.
Mr. Williams?
To me, I don't see to where we should try to bridge a partnership between the city of Macomb and we're trying to move this forward. I mean, I think doing this right here, right now, is going to show something to the people that's on the outside. When we're trying to get people to come in and bring businesses, it's not going to give a good look if we're not partnership and standing in agreement with the school system. I mean, that's the way I see it.
Mr. Johnson?
Mr.
Selectman
Butler,
Johnson.
Mr. Butler, have you reviewed this contract? Has the school district did any after-school tutorial programs there?
There's none.
Here.
Has the school district done any,
We haven't.
did they use that building for any, thing related to children, as far as bringing children in there, having events for children, extracurricular activities there for children?
I'm not familiar with that.
Okay, I've only seen the building being used for staff development meetings and meetings within the school district. I've never seen, children in the building, doing anything. I'm all for partnering with our school district and, moving the city forward, but I really believe that we can better manage this in-house. If we put someone in place there, the rates are ridiculous. Has anybody talked to the school district?
No.
Yes,
Yes.
Oh, good, yeah.
yes, I've talked directly with the superintendent.
I have too.
Okay, why don't we do, anybody know why they don't do after-school tutoring there? Why we don't do extracurricular activities there? Anybody got answers for that?
I was going to let everybody get through talking.
That's just some of my concerns. The rates are very expensive. So I think we could better manage it in-house.
It goes back to my question about it. What warrants this? What's the reason for us trying to separate and break up this partnership? And the other thing is, if we are already in a financial situation, why are we separating to where they are already helping us to pay this bill? Why would we put that extra bill on ourselves and take it upon ourselves when we're already in a financial situation?
Selectmen Hill.
Thank you. I personally don't think that us terminating this contract with the McComb School District with our building would taint any businesses coming to the city. We're just basically saying that we would like to manage our facility. The message only goes out like that if we send that message out. It is true that the MLK can be used better. I will say that myself. And I think that if we allow it to, again, we are the stewards of the city, and we dictate as a board what happens. At this time, I think that we can manage it better, and at no point did McComb School District have to spend a dime on it. They have only been, they only have operated it. The city of McComb always maintained it. So the cost of it is going to stay the same. So it wouldn't put the city at a more crisis of financial reasons. New board, do something different.
Selectman Brown.
This MLK Center has always been clean. Before the school district got it, it was clean. It's not a celebrity around this board and tell me not one program that the McComb School District has had in that building for school kids, not one. That was part of the partnership going into it with the school district, is what they were going to do, and that was going to be a partnership with the surrounding community to have after-school programs and others to grow to that point. The only thing that's been there has been the staff development meetings, period. I've been there. I've had 27 meetings there at Martin Luther King, so I can say nothing is happening there. It's not, Selectmen Hill has been there with programs. The school district has not. So it's not about putting on a good image here that we're partnering up with the McComb School District to, I guess, for them to continue on with this lease agreement. There's nothing to keep McComb School District from renting from us, or leasing the building from us whenever they get ready, instead of it being vice versa. When I get the building, I have to use the building, I have to go to the school district. Again, I don't think so. Selecting around this board to name me not one program that the school district has had down there since this agreement. Not one.
Well, I wasn't here when the term and agreement was made, so I can't say what agreement was made by the board and the city, school board and the city, to say that there would be a after-school program. I'm all for after-school program, but in this lease agreement, I don't see that agreement nowhere on here where it said that this is what they was gonna do as an after-school program, as part of the agreement. And I'm just going by this agreement that's right here. I wasn't here when it was formed, so I have to go by this agreement that's before me.
Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Dowling, I'm glad to hear it. Is this within our discretion to take back ownership of a building that we always own?
It's within your discretion to do that if you accept what Selectman Brock has stated. That would be justification and cause for a effort to terminate the lease, at the very least, under this term. I think, yes, to answer to your question, you may
Okay.
terminate.
Okay, and as Selectman Hill alluded to, it's a new board, and I think the message should be that we just want to go a different direction, that we feel that we can better manage it in-house.
Okay, now, if I can, I did have a conversation with the superintendent, so therefore he was not surprised when it did hit the paper. However, the superintendent has asked that we could have a meeting before any action be taken, a meeting with Mr. Butler, Mr. Brock, and anyone else, as it relates to the leasing of the building and all that. And I told him that I would present that to the board before we take any action, that a meeting would exist with whoever wants to be involved. Yes, sir.
When did you speak with the superintendent?
Yesterday.
Okay. Did you ask the school if he wanted us to take it back?
No, I just simply told him that it was being brought up to rescind the agreement that we had with them as it relates to the MLK. And he said to me, "Thank you for telling me," he said, "is it possible that we could have a meeting and discuss this?" And I told him I would take it back to the board.
Okay, that's my third point here that I've got written down, and I've already said it once. I hope we're not treating any more of our associates, any more of our business partners, any more of our people that we do business like we just treated the school. I hope we don't treat anybody else like that, because I'm not so sure what's right about this at all.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
this agreement, this request from me to this board has nothing to do about breaking a partnership with the McComb School District. The McComb School District has every right, after this passes, hopefully every right, if they want to do whatever they want to do in the MLK Center, to come to this body and do it. This gives that center back to the community, rightly so, back to the community. The school district, again, if the board member can correct me, is not, I was here, has not done what it presented before this body in regard to after-school programs or any activity. Again, nobody can tell me not one thing that's been done in the MLK Center, not one thing other than staff development. Now, if you can tell me one thing, I consider a vote for the table.
Last comment. Last two. Mr. Hill, you'll be the last.
Mr.
Last.
Dowling,
Sir?
what you said a while ago was that we have the right to the ground. In the lease, which is a legal document, I mean, I know it's been told to us before that we can break pretty much anything we want to break. Again, I think I'm reiterating what Selectman Williams said, but was it a gentleman's agreement? Was it a handshake that they said that they were gonna do whatever, but, because I'm pretty sure whatever's in the lease, they've done. I mean, I don't think we required in the lease, that they do X, Y, and Z. If that was a handshake or a gentleman's agreement, that's fine, but to break a lease because they hadn't paid 50% of the utilities, which is gonna cost us more, and because they hadn't maintained it and insured it and, you know, use of premises says leasing shall have the exclusive right to use all portions of the building. Nowhere in there do I see that it says they shall have after-school meetings and have kids there and everything, so.
Well, my answer to that, by way of some legal opinion, is that as the governing authority of the city of McComb, you are required to see that properties owned by the city of McComb are used to their maximum advantage by the citizens of the city of McComb who pay for it. And in my opinion, if this board accepts the facts that have been recited by Selectman Brock, that the building is not being used, then I think you're shirking. It may be said that you have a responsibility to see that the building is being used. And, I think it's within your discretion to take action to set aside an agreement that is not allowing the full use of a building built and owned by the city and for use by the residents of the city.
Mr. Hill, last comment, Selectman Hill.
I think in our inauguration that the city agreed that we would join the We Want More campaign. I think it would be very vital that we do not renew the contract or take ownership or operations of MLK and set the tone. Let's set the example of what we expect from the MLK building and show the school district that we do want more. At any point, this board, if agreed by the school district, they could renew the contract and give it back to the school. But I think that this body, we all agreed to the We Want More campaign, then I think that we should show the school district that we do. Let's set the tone of what we expect from the building, and at some point, if the school agreed to take it back, then I think that we should give it back.
Okay. Last comment. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Consider approving.
Can you restate it?
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
Consider approving the city attorney to seek termination of the MLK lease agreement between the city of McComb and the McComb School District. It was motioned by Selectman Cameron, second by Selectman Brock. We have discussed it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Let me get it for them. All in favor? Aye. 1, 2, 3. You have Selectman Brock, Selectman Hill, and Selectman Johnson in voting to break the lease. Correct. All against? You have Selectman Williams, Selectman Tullis, and Selectman Cameron voting nay. Since I have spoken with the superintendent and he has asked for a meeting at this time, I'm going to vote nay. This may come back up after that meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to add one additional item to the agenda.
So moved.
It was motion. What item do you want to add?
Yes, sir.
Just
Did we
hold
get a
on,
second?
I want to find out what the
I got
item
the
is.
second first.
I need to know the item. Tell me what item you want to.
Oh, add to the
Yes.
That the superintendent and our school board president will be at our next board meeting.
The item to be added that has been motioned is that we ask the superintendent and the president of the board to attend our next regular meeting, work session, and it was seconded by Selectman Hill. Am I correct? Okay.
That was to add.
To add,
To the last item.
to add the item. Okay. All in favor? Opposing?
No, I don't think we need to make a motion to ask somebody to be at the meeting anymore. Can't we just ask the city administrator or you to call?
Who's running the meeting?
I got to get the vote. Let me get the vote.
Nay.
Again, all in favor of adding this one item? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Okay, there are 4 ayes and 2 nays. Do I need to give you the names or you got it? What you said. Okay. Now, we're all in favor of that motion. It's been added. We're going to go ahead and deal with it now. The item that has been added that we will ask the superintendent and the president of the McComb School Board to be at our next work session. Can I get a motion and a second?
Second.
It was motioned by Selectman Johnson, second by Selectman Brock. Any discussion?
Question.
Go ahead.
How soon do you anticipate having a meeting with the superintendent?
I'm gonna get with him tomorrow and see what his schedule looks like, and if he says, Thursday or Friday, I'll be contacting anyone who wants to attend that meeting. Yes, sir.
If 4 more of us are there, that's considered a quorum. So, it's gonna be only certain people.
I know,
Right.
I hear what you're saying, you're correct. Only, if I attend, only 2 other selectmen can attend that meeting. I mean,
2 of them. It can't be 4.
it can't be 4.
It can't be 4 of us, I'm saying.
I think just leave it a public meeting.
It's fine with me.
Is it?
Yeah. Is it 3 selectmen or 2 selectmen in there?
4 in all, including the mayor.
3, not 3 selectmen and the mayor. 2 selectmen, the mayor makes 3. If it's 4, it's a 4.
3 selectmen plus the mayor is a quorum.
Okay. Any other discussion? Are we ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Again, let me get the ayes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Same 4-2. So we will contact them and ask them to be at our work session.
And if I may request any documentation, that would support their use of the building.
Right.
We'll add that in our discussion with them. Okay. Consider approving the city attorney to create a right-of-way and an easement agreement between the city of McComb and landowners. Can I get a motion in second? So moved. Selectman Hill,
Second.
Selectman Cameron. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Number 21, consider adopting an ordinance declaring the intent of the city to enter into an agreement with the county to have the county election commissioners conduct the general election for the city of Macomb. Can I get a motion and a second? Who said move? Selectman Cameron. Second, once, twice. Babcock.
Second.
Got right in there. We're gonna move right on. Second by, Selectman Brock, any discussion?
Just for the record, Selectman Brock and Cornell Simmons, the two top officers in the Democratic Party, before the last election, were adamant about the city having paper ballots. They said that machines could be influenced by the Russians, or they could be malfunctioned, and we must have paper ballots. Just for the record.
Selectman Johnson. I happen to participate in those negotiations at the county. It was argued that the municipal executive committees should run their own primaries, and in the primaries, the balloting preference should be left up to those executive committee chairmen. The problem was the Republican Party chairman of the county interfered in that process, and that's where the discombobulation came from. But with the matter at hand, I think we've always contracted out prior to this last election. We always contracted out with the county election commissioners, and I think they do a fine job. And to my understanding, they go to regular trainings. This is what the people have elected them to do.
My name was called.
Make it short and brief.
My selectman, Mr. Tullis, you always told me if you wanted to say something to me or call my name, you know how to catch up with me, right? If you're going to make a statement, make a correct statement. Most like, common sense people would do. If you're going to make a statement, research it, find out the facts, then you make your comment. So I oppose the statement you just made because evidently you weren't at the meeting, and evidently your sources were dead wrong. So if you really want to know, ask me and I'll tell you. Don't use my name and don't lie on me.
Okay, let's keep moving. Thank you, Mr. Any other? Back with you? You got your hand up? Mm-hmm. Okay, Selectman Campbell.
Have we, I know we had a conversation with them prior to and during the election. Have we talked to them and they're good with this?
Yes, I've talked to them. They are good with it. And like Mr. Johnson said, in prior elections, the city did contract, but the law has changed in that essence. If we want them to do it, we're going to have to get rid or eliminate our own election commission. So that's what this does. It eliminates our election commission and turns our general election, not primary elections, our general elections over to the county election commissions. Selectman Brown.
Mr. Mayor, I understand what you're trying to do with this ordinance that's before us, but I'd like to make a substitute motion that this body abolish the municipal election commission. This will not authorize the county to hold out the elections. If we move on this, the county still cannot do our elections. And I'm going to pass out a document from the county that says, based on information that was spread across their minutes, they had a policy change in September 11th. And the policy change was the commission has adopted the policy that in accordance with Mississippi Code Section 42, it's at the bottom of the page, Section 2315-221, in order for the county commission to work a municipal election, the municipality will have to adopt an ordinance to abolish the municipal election commission. Motion was made by Ms. Jenkins, which is the election commission, and second by Ms. Jennifer Gatlin, which is the election commission. So that being spread on their minutes, in order for us to contract with the county to do our elections, I would move that we abolish our municipal election commission that would allow us the opportunity to contract with the county legally. The assertion that certain people want paper ballots and something about the Russians is just far-fetched. I don't even know what that's about. I've attended 2, 3 election commission meetings. Mr. Tullis, Selectman Tullis was not at neither meeting. He has nothing that would say that I'm a head of the Democratic Party. So facts are not being spoken of clearly here around the board. So what we're trying to do with this, consider adopting an ordinance declaring the intention of the city to enter into agreement with the county. We can do that, but we have to first abolish our election commission in order for the county to accept it based on state law and what's spread on their minutes across their board.
Mayor. Yes, sir. I totally agree with Selectman Rock on that, but in order to abolish our election commission, our charter actually says that the city of McComb shall have 3 election inspectors.
Can I speak to this, please? Number one, this is the first time I've seen or heard the commissioners didn't do that. But I know that in our charter and our ordinances, we have an office called tax collector. I know that Summit does the same. I know that Magnolia and Osaka do the same. Yet we entered into, when they changed the state law 20-plus years ago, we entered into an interlocal agreement where even though I can go get the charter and our ordinances and show you where we still have a tax collector position, this board, in its discretion, entered into an agreement with the county to do collection of taxes and assessment of taxes. And I think the same is we would not be prohibited from doing what I think, and I've not paid a lot of attention closely, but I'm pretty sure we could do what has been proposed, that is entering into an interlocal agreement between this body and the election commissioners to conduct our elections with or without a municipal election commission. I would say I don't know where they felt that they had to that had to be abolished. I mean, it'd be like saying you got to abolish the office of tax collector. We haven't filled the tax collector. We haven't used the tax collector for a long time, but in response to Scott, the only thing I'm saying is based on what the Pike County Election Commissioners have spread it across their minutes. They will not, based on what we see right here, they will not do the election. I don't.
Regardless if we want them to, they won't do the election unless we do not have a municipal election commission. If we don't have a municipal election commission, then state law says they automatically do it. But their minutes say that they will not do it if we have a body in place.
Will we have to change the charter to do that?
Which is complicated, but
Motion to table until we can get more information, get Mr. Dowdy to research this and come back with some.
I'm gonna ask them, Selectman Brock, I don't know that they have the authority to make that, make that mandatory of this body, but
We have a motion on the table. A motion was made by Selectman Cameron to table.
second.
Okay. It was motioned by Selectman Cameron, seconded by Selectman Tullis, that we would table this. So that simply means it'll be back on the next agenda.
We're gonna vote?
Just give me. Any discussion on table? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. One nay, and that was Brock, Selectman Brock. Okay. 22, consider authorizing renewal of shredding services for the City of McComb Police Department, Court Service, and City Hall location with shredded 5530 Industrial Road, Jackson, Mississippi 39209. The contract is for 60 months and will be decreased from $6 to $50 per pickup twice per month for a savings of $10 with no fuel charges. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Okay. Selectman Cameron, Selectman Brock. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Number 23, consider purchase Apple iPads for the Board of Mayor and Selectmen from ceasefire in the amount of $5,065.92 and a monthly service charge in the amount of $271.92. You have the documents there to support this in your package. Can I get a motion in a second? Selectman Johnson, Selectman Williams. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Wait. Excuse me, I didn't see your hand. That's okay. The 271 is dated, so they will be dated. Okay, we discussed that last time. All right. Any other questions? All in favor say aye. Opposed is nay. Let's consider, keep moving, consider authorizing the publication of ordinance 6:08/16, restoring the powers and duties of the mayor and the city administrator, published once in the newspaper. Can I get a second? A motion and a second.
So moved.
Selectman Hill,
Second.
Selectman Brock. Any discussion? Selectman.
Do you have those ordinances?
Primarily, they should be there in your package. They are the way they should have been blackened out when, in 2009, when they removed those, but they were not blackened out or removed from our ordinance book. So what they did in 16? What they did in 2016 was put it back the way it was in 2009. So what you see here in this package is the ordinance.
Okay. And, when this is run, you gonna take all the necessary steps to clean it up, the way it's been cleaned up?
Well, it's my understanding that's all we need to do is already clean, it just needs to be ran and